My perfect sister tried to steal my dream wedding, but my husband had other plans. Okay, Reddit, I need to get this off my chest because I'm still reeling, and honestly, I don't know who else to talk to. My head is spinning, and I just need some objective opinions, or maybe just some validation that I'm not completely insane. This is a long one, so buckle up. I, 32 female, have always had a complicated relationship with my older sister, Bethany, 34 female. From the moment I was born, she was the golden child. The one who excelled at everything, got perfect grades, was naturally athletic, beautiful, charming, you name it. I, on the other hand, was always just there. The quiet, artsy one who struggled a bit more, who had to work twice as hard for half the recognition. My parents, while never overtly saying it, always made it clear who their favorite was. Bethany's achievements were celebrated with grand parties and expensive gifts, while mine were met with a polite nod and a "that's nice, dear." It hurt, of course, but I learned to live with it. I found my own path, focused on my art, and eventually built a pretty successful career as a graphic designer. I've always been independent and resourceful, largely because I had to be. Fast forward to a year and a half ago. I met David, 33 male, through mutual friends. He's everything I ever dreamed of, kind, funny, incredibly supportive, and he sees me, not just Bethany's shadow. We fell head over heels for each other, and after a whirlwind year, he proposed. It was a beautiful, intimate moment, just us, on a hike we loved. I was ecstatic. Truly, genuinely happy. This was my moment, my love story. Naturally, the first people we told were our families. David's family was over the moon. My parents, well, they were happy for me, but the conversation quickly steered towards Bethany. Oh, that's wonderful. Just think, Bethany will be next. She's been with Michael for so long, surely he'll propose soon. It was a familiar pattern. Even my engagement had to be framed in relation to Bethany. I tried to ignore it, focusing on David and our plans. The wedding planning began, and it was a joyful, albeit stressful, experience. David and I wanted something intimate, meaningful, and reflective of our personalities. We decided on a small destination wedding in a beautiful, rustic vineyard in Tuscany, Italy. It was a dream I'd harbored since I was a little girl, inspired by a painting I'd seen. We budgeted carefully, saved diligently, and were so excited. We invited our closest friends and family, about 30 people in total. My parents, of course, and Bethany and her long-term boyfriend, Michael. Bethany, predictably, wasn't thrilled about our choice of venue. Tuscany? Really? Isn't that a bit much for your wedding? She'd sniff. She made snide comments about the cost, the travel, and how inconvenient it was for everyone. I tried to explain that it was our dream, and that we were covering a good portion of the costs for our guests, but she just rolled her eyes. My parents, of course, echoed her sentiments, suggesting we just have something local and more practical. I held my ground. This was my wedding, and I wasn't going to let Bethany or my parents dictate it. David was my rock through all of this, constantly reassuring me that our vision was perfect. About 6 months before our wedding date, something truly infuriating happened. Bethany called me, sounding unusually sweet. "Hey, little sister. Guess what? Michael finally proposed." I tried to sound genuinely happy for her, despite the competitive pang I felt. "Oh, that's wonderful, Bethany. Congratulations." Then she dropped the bombshell. "And guess what else? We are getting married in Tuscany. We just loved the idea so much when you told us, and Michael always wanted a vineyard wedding, you know." My blood ran cold. When are you getting married?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. "Oh, just a month before you guys. We figured it would be nice for everyone to just make one trip, you know? Save on travel and all that." I was floored. A month before my wedding? In Tuscany? The same specific region? It felt like a deliberate slap in the face. My dream wedding, meticulously planned, was being hijacked. I tried to express my discomfort, my hurt, but she just brushed it off. "Don't be silly, my name. It's not like we're doing the exact same thing. And besides, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery." My parents, when I cautiously brought it up, said, "Oh, isn't that sweet? Bethany just loves your ideas so much. You should be flattered." David, however, saw right through it. He was furious on my behalf, but I begged him not to confront Bethany directly. I wanted to avoid a huge family blow-up before my wedding. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe it wasn't intentional. Maybe it was just a coincidence. But deep down, I knew it wasn't. Bethany's planning began with an alarming speed. She seemed to take immense pleasure in telling me about her unique touches, which were suspiciously similar to elements I had planned. My exact floral arrangements, a similar custom cake design, even the string quartet I had booked for our ceremony, she was now considering them. She'd constantly ask me about my vendors, then mysteriously, those vendors would become unavailable for my date or suddenly have a prior commitment. I was scrambling, trying to find alternatives, feeling like I was constantly one step behind. It was a nightmare. Every time I found something I loved, I felt a wave of anxiety that Bethany would somehow find out and try to co-opt it. I started being very vague about my wedding details, which only fueled her curiosity. Then came the grand finale. 2 months before Bethany's wedding, and 3 months before mine, she called me, practically giddy. Guess what? My name? We found the most perfect venue. It's this incredible, historic villa, right in the heart of the Chianti region. It's got the most breathtaking views, a private chapel, and a chef who makes the most divine pasta. We absolutely had to book it. My stomach dropped. I had only mentioned this to my mother, in passing, months ago, as my dream venue, the one I had originally envisioned but thought was out of our budget. I had been planning to surprise David by securing it for our small ceremony, having found a way to make it work financially. It was a secret, a truly special detail I was holding onto. My heart shattered that I finally snapped. I confronted her, my voice shaking with fury and tears. Bethany, you know that was my dream venue. I told Mom about it, and now you've booked it right before my wedding? How could you do this? She feigned innocence. Oh, darling, I had no idea. Michael and I just loved it so much. It's pure coincidence. And besides, you never actually booked it, did you? My parents, when I complained, told me I was being ridiculous and selfish. Bethany found a beautiful venue, and she's happy. Why are you always trying to compete with her? My mother said, you should be happy for your sister. I felt completely alone, betrayed, and utterly defeated. I seriously considered canceling the entire wedding. David, bless his heart, held me as I cried for hours. He was angry too, but focused on making me feel better. We'll find something else, he promised. Something even better. This is our day, no one else's. We did find another beautiful, albeit different, venue. A charming, more rustic farmhouse that still offered stunning views, but it wasn't the villa. The magic was gone for me. The joy of planning had been replaced by a bitter resentment. I just wanted the wedding to be over. Bethany's wedding arrived, and it was, predictably, a grand affair. She invited over 200 guests, and every detail was meticulously executed to perfection. It was everything she had ever wanted, a show of opulence and status. My parents beamed with pride, telling everyone how successful Bethany was. During the reception, Bethany, after a few too many glasses of Prosecco, cornered me. See, little sister? This is how you do a real wedding, not some tiny little affair in the middle of nowhere. She laughed, and my heart just hardened. I just nodded and walked away, determined not to let her ruin my evening. Then came the day before my wedding. David and I were at our chosen venue, overseeing the final touches. It was a beautiful, serene setting, and despite everything, I was starting to feel a tiny flicker of excitement again. My bridesmaids were arriving, and we were planning a relaxed dinner. That's when my phone started ringing off the hook. First my mother, then my father, then even Bethany. I ignored them all, assuming they were just checking in. Finally, my best friend, Sarah, called, sounding panicked. You need to answer your parents, something's happened. Hesitantly, I called my mother back. She was crying hysterically. Bethany's wedding, it's a disaster. Through her sobs, I pieced together the story. Apparently, a few days after her lavish wedding, Bethany and Michael had gone on their honeymoon. While they were away, the wedding planner, a notoriously difficult but highly sought-after individual Bethany had specifically bragged about stealing from my original shortlist, had gotten into a major legal dispute with the villa owner over payment. It turned out the wedding planner had significantly overcharged Bethany and Michael, pocketing a huge portion of the money and leaving a trail of unpaid vendors. The villa owner, furious, had initiated legal action against the planner and, due to some fine print in Bethany's contract, was now threatening to sue Bethany and Michael for the remaining unpaid balances. But that wasn't even the worst of it. During the legal wrangling, it came out that the wedding planner had cut corners on everything. The organic, farm-to-table food was actually cheap, mass-produced catering. The artisanal wine was just generic table wine with custom labels. The worst part, though, was the antique wedding dress Bethany had gushed about, claiming it was a family heirloom. It was revealed to be a cheap knockoff, purchased online, and heavily altered to look authentic. Michael, who apparently had a history of being extremely particular about honesty, had found out about all of this. He had confronted Bethany, and a massive argument ensued. He felt completely humiliated and betrayed by her deception and obsession with appearing perfect. He had filed for annulment just 2 weeks after their wedding, citing fraud.my mother was still sobbing. And now the local authorities are involved. The wedding planner has disappeared, and the villa owner is demanding payment from Bethany and Michael. All the vendors are suing them. It's a nightmare, my name. Their credit cards are maxed out, and they're facing huge debts. Michael's family is furious, and they've cut him off. They're saying Bethany ruined everything. She then got to the point, your father and I, we can't afford to help them. We put everything into Bethany's wedding. We need your help, my name. You're doing so well with your art, you must have some savings. You have to lend Bethany some money. I was stunned into silence. My sister, the perfect Bethany, whose wedding had been a symbol of her supposed superiority, was now facing financial ruin and an annulment, all due to her own deceit and desire to outdo me. And my parents, who had consistently dismissed my struggles and celebrated Bethany's every triumph, were now turning to me for financial assistance. The sheer audacity was breathtaking. Mom, I said, my voice surprisingly calm, I'm getting married tomorrow. I'm busy. And no, I'm not lending Bethany any money. This is a mess of her own making, and frankly, I have my own wedding to focus on. My mother exploded. How can you be so selfish? Your sister is in trouble. Family helps family. I calmly reiterated that I had my own obligations and that I wouldn't be able to help. I told her that she and my father were welcome to come to my wedding tomorrow, but I wouldn't be discussing Bethany's financial woes. Then I hung up. David, who had been listening to the one-sided conversation, just looked at me. Are you really not going to help them? He asked gently. No, I said, a sense of calm washing over me that I hadn't felt in years. I'm not. I've spent my entire life trying to live up to Bethany's impossible standards, watching her take everything I ever wanted, and my parents condoning it. This is her consequence, not mine to fix. The next day, my parents didn't show up for my wedding. I wasn't surprised, just a little sad, but mostly relieved. It meant no more drama, no more comparisons. It was just David and me, surrounded by people who genuinely loved and supported us. My friends, David's family, and a few distant relatives who had always been kind to me. The ceremony was beautiful, heartfelt, and everything I had ever dreamed of. During the reception, David raised a glass. To my amazing wife, he began, looking directly at me, who has faced so many challenges with grace and strength, and to the beautiful life we are building together, far away from all the noise. It was a subtle jab, but it resonated deeply with me. The honeymoon was incredible, a blissful escape. We came back to a few more frantic voicemails from my parents, still begging for money, still trying to blame me for Bethany's predicament. I deleted them without listening to the end. I've changed my phone number since then. I haven't spoken to Bethany or my parents since before my wedding. I've blocked them on social media. I know it sounds harsh, but I feel lighter, freer than I have in my entire life. Bethany's annulment went through, and the legal battles are still ongoing. She's reportedly facing significant debt, and her perfect life has completely unraveled. My parents are apparently struggling to cope with the fallout and are still trying to figure out how to help her, apparently having sunk most of their savings into her now debunked wedding. I occasionally hear snippets through mutual friends about how my parents are telling everyone that I abandoned them and my sister in their time of need. But I don't care. David and I are thriving. We bought a beautiful little house, and I'm pouring all my energy into my art, something I haven't been able to do without the constant pressure of Bethany's shadow. He's my biggest fan, and I've never felt so loved and supported. So, Reddit, am I the absolute villain here for not helping my sister and my parents? Should I have swallowed my pride and lent them money? Or was I right to prioritize my own happiness and finally break free from a lifetime of being second best? I know it sounds harsh, but for the first time in my life, I feel like I'm finally living for myself. Edit. A lot of you are asking if Michael knew about Bethany's plan to steal my ideas. From what I understand, he was largely oblivious to the extent of her machinations regarding my wedding specifically. He was aware of her general competitiveness and her desire for a grand, perfect wedding, but he reportedly had no idea she was actively trying to sabotage my plans or that she was being deceptive about the wedding details. His annulment was filed specifically on the grounds of her fraud regarding the wedding planner, the vendors, and especially the fake heirloom dress, which he apparently felt was a deep personal betrayal of his trust and values. He's reportedly as disgusted with her behavior as I am.